I was once asked why I didn't have a partner that was in the same line of work as I am, and if it was difficult because they didn't understand. They didn't understand. And it was asked quite a long time ago, and I share it now because it took me a moment to digest and be able to respond from my truth. Because this question for me represents, and it's really truly my own personal view and not a judgment of anyone else's lifestyle, but it shows a symptom of rigidity as I experience it within the worlds or realms of spirituality and how it is interpreted. I've explored many different religions and spiritual practices and modalities in my life. I've studied and practiced them. And in that, I notice a movement towards this religious application almost of new age spirituality today. There's almost a need to have rules, to have a structure. And where I do understand the human need for that or desire for that, there it also comes at a cost because there's lack for another way of doing it. And since it's already a mix of all of these different traditions and practices and religions and spirituality, then there's limitless possibility to how you apply that to your life. That's how I experience it. That's also how I've experienced religious practices. That it is your light. It is your practice. And everybody is so unique that everybody's practice is unique to them. And we can share within that. We can step into a collective with it. But it starts becoming very rigid when we feel that everybody needs to be doing exactly what it is that we're doing, and we don't show up grounded. In my experience, I've noticed a communities around me that really want to escape, almost escape reality, escape pain because of touching ecstasy, touching a heightened state of awareness or of consciousness. And instead of having, two directions of this energy going up and down, that there's a draw. Like people are drawn to go upwards. And when they start experiencing other kinds of emotions or anything that comes underneath that ecstatic experience of pure bliss and love, that something must be wrong. I'm feeling pain or I'm feeling not as heightened. And so when coming back into reality, into the collective, instead of hiding in communities, and we bring this experience into the world and we get triggered in different kinds of ways, and we remember that human essence inside as well, that is where the practice is. How can you be here present and embody the moment and everything that it holds for you, instead of staying inside of a bubble of community where the energy is always heightened? and separating yourself then from how the regular energy and the different vibrations, regular, I say regular, but that's just conditioning. So all of the other layers of life and a frequency that exist, all of that is life. All of that is love. All of that is the full vastness of it all. And when you can truly allow all of those layers of life and allow yourself to flow, healing happens. Your capacity to rest inside of yourself and feel the stillness that comes, where you can flow into ecstasy and also be with whatever life throws at you or offers you, what happens on your path. You won't feel the need to escape because it's not right, or that you want to be high all the time. Notice what it is that you do. And I circle back to that question, why don't I have a partner that is in the same world as me? Well, I didn't choose that in that kind of a way. I met him before I started working within this, but I was always on a spiritual and conscious path. He doesn't work with it, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't embody so many of the attributes innately, that he may have different words for it, but he can ground within him and bring his gifts to the world in his own way. I don't need somebody to know every aspect of what it is that I came to bring into this world. Some, yes, I love to share. And yet I don't find it difficult to translate. I find it enriching to experience and to hear his view, his words, his way of perceiving what it is that I share. And it has grown, or I have grown because of that. I am able to communicate with different kinds of people about all that I love to share and experience about it being in your body and working with your vastness and your energy and feeling like yourself. If you are a facilitator or healer or coach or holding space for others, ask yourself what you do to ground in the world, to meet the different world energies, and how you can stay present with yourself in your life force instead of hiding in a bubble of community, which I understand can support healing to an extent. But if you are in a bubble and jump from bubble to bubble to bubble to bubble, completely separated from the peoples and the dynamics of the world that you're in, whatever country you're in, ask yourself why you're hiding. What it is that you do to bring all of those aspects together, because you are in a position guiding people who go back into their jobs, into their families, into their lives. And so it can only offer you more capacity to be able to hold space for them safely and for yourself. I've worked with so many people who are holding space who lose so much touch with themselves and their body, they end up with different illnesses. And that it becomes very scary to re-enter where you're not going to be protected by those bubbles. Now, I'm not saying that there is no space whatsoever to, or that being in a bubble is wrong, and that there's no space or there for you to have that kind of lifestyle. But question if you are really there in a space of love, or if you are there because you're afraid to step out of it. And to remember that we also exist within the matrix. We also exist there. If those are your thoughts and your beliefs, that you can be on all different kinds of sides and grounded as well. So it's my 2 cents on what I want to share with you, because I feel that there's so much resistance in being with all of the frequencies of life, that once you've stepped into ecstasy, that everything else is wrong. And this comes from that like indoctrination of what, be happy, what it is to be happy, and that we're all striving to be happy. Now, what is happiness? And it's like this mountaintop. And once we reach that mountaintop, we never want to see the rest of the mountain again. And it's just not how it works. So questioning and reframing what happy means, what ecstasy means, what it means to live heightened and grounded, how you can better handle all the flavors of life. And are you escaping? Are you escaping? Something to think about. One love.